Okay, to figure out what all those scales were, if you were listening, paying attention last week, well, actually, I didn't talk about that last one. That was this. You know what? I'm not going to go into that today. I got a whole nother plan. But that was the melodic minor scale, by the way, just in case you're wondering what the heck was going on. I started off with a major scale, then descended with it mixolydian, then started a minor scale, but stayed with a raised sharp sixth and sharp seventh. Well, never mind. Okay, it's August 30th, and it's been a fun week around here. Wow, what order am I going to go in here? Let's talk about new songs first. We got a couple new lessons. Nesh brought us a lesson on a bread tune, "Baby I'ma Want You," which has now been added to the bread package. That is definitely appreciated. I think I'm done with "Cruel Sister." Over the last couple of weeks, I've done a tune on the song. A lesson, of course, on "Cruel Sister," and then on Lord Franklin, that has always kind of eluded me a little bit, similar to "Cruel Sister." It's like I figured someday I gotta figure out what Renbourn was doing in that and write it down and show people. So that was what took up my attention last week, and but today what I want to talk about is, well, let's get to the point, Neil. Each week we put some packs on sale, artist packs and stuff like that, for most of our members, most of the people who visit the site are not monthly subscribers, but they like to buy things one at a time. And so we have all these packs, over 200 of them, of different artist packs. And last week we decided to put all the finger picking packs on sale, and boy, has the response been. It looks like that's why a lot of people come here, is for finger picking stuff. So today what I'm going to do is give you I've been sort of also over the last month or two, couple months, been giving you some of my top 10 songs for different styles. Today it's going to be good instrumental finger picking pieces. Now many of these are in the different packs we have, the solos, instrumental, or we got a beginning pack, I think, and maybe 3 intermediate packs and 3 advanced packs. And anyhow, and then Fingerpicking 101 is a great place to get started. So, but I was just talking with one of my students the other day. We're just getting into fingerpicking instrumentals. Now, so you already have to be able to do Blackbird, Dust in the Wind, all that type of picking. And before you get into the more freeform stuff that I talked last week about, some what I would consider advanced accompaniment songs, stuff like Vincent, probably because they're just a little bit more unorthodox in terms of specifically what you have to do. I'm going to walk you through 10 or 15 instrumentals I like to have people start with. And one of them is one that I learned from my guitar teacher when I was like 12 years old or 11 years old, maybe 10. And it was just this little ditty called Shades of Funk. Most of the song is just 2 bass notes and some simple melody notes. Just some bluesy licks in the key of G. Find the chord change. Anyway, so it goes on and on with a little bit of melody. And another song that I like to have people try, beginning finger picking songs, is Grandfather's Clock. It just keeps a steady bass going, 3 chords, it's in the key of C, fairly straightforward melody. Freight Train is another one. Do we do that in G? C, I mean. little John Fahey lick in there. I can't go. Boy, I haven't mentioned Fahey yet today, but those are three that I would consider really good beginning fingerpicking songs. Before you start getting into the intermediate ones, like the first level of intermediate songs that I like to have people look at is the instrumental version of Fishin' Blues. We have two different versions of Fishin' Blues up here. And one of them is the way Taj Mahal played it to accompany his singing. But the one I've always taught people is from a book called Fingerpicking Instrumentals, one of my Bibles. And it plays the very simple melody of Fishin' Blues with a moving bass part. That same bass run. Anyway, really good song for technique and coordination and putting melodies together. So that's an example again of what I would consider intermediate level finger picking. And then they've got all these packs that have some great tunes in it. Stuff like Daydream Believer is in there, and now that one's a little more varied because it doesn't. I'm not keeping a steady alternating bass going there, so we're getting a little bit more into freeform stuff. That was, of course, Can't Help Falling in Love. But then we get into the second level of intermediate ones that have a little bit more going on. Stuff like my finger-picking arrangement of Here Comes the Sun. Which up until TG started, is how I always showed it to people. So that gets in. This is right in the middle of the pack of intermediate stuff. What else is in there? Windy and Warm. So these are some of the favorites that I've shown people over the years. Oh, then there's the country blues ones that I haven't played in a while. That'll Never Happen No More, stuff like that. Some of Yorma's tunes. Two others I want to make sure I mention. Oh, Bermuda Triangle Exit. So having this discussion with one of our teachers from camp the other day about even possibly us playing that as a duet at camp. And I said, it's such a great tune, and it's so bad. It's too bad that the guy who wrote it and recorded it played it something like this. I can't even listen to it that fast. I don't even know what to say. You can't hear the melody very well compared to this. So that's Bermuda Triangle Exit by Stefan Grossman. Great tune to play slower than the recording. Speaking of playing songs slower, here are some others that actually this one wasn't. Here are two others that are these now. Now we're getting into the advanced category, but these are ones that also benefit from being played slower than usual. Still stealing the John Fahey ending again. All of a sudden, everything I end on C is going, which I remember hearing him do in Beverly, I think. Anyway, Beverly, another great tune. That wasn't even on my list of things to talk about today, but since Fahey popped into my head, another one that doesn't have to be as fast as everybody did. John Fahey's The Last Steam Engine Train. One of the first, I'd have to say one of the first really difficult songs I worked on back when I was a teenager, and was really, really happy to get under my belt. One more. There you go. I should have hit it again. I was having trouble hearing it because it was fading out. It had disappeared. Here's another one that people play way too fast, but when I have students work on it, I want them to be able to get it in. There we go. Still a little sharp because little sideline note. You probably know that when you tune when you use harmonics, you can tune the 5th fret. You use the 5th fret of the lower string. Like in this case, I'm hitting the 5th fret of the A string to match it with the 7th fret of the D string, right? And that's when the strings are a 4th apart. Well, when I tune this down to D, so here's today's tip and trick of the week. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, the D string is now a 5th below the A string instead of a 4th below, and for that you can match the 7th fret of the lower string with the 12th fret of the higher string. So what I just did there a second ago was when I was trying to get down to D, I played the harmonic at the 12th fret of the A string and made sure that the 7th fret of the new D string matched it. And now I should be happy with that D. And now I should be ready to play something that is also way too fast on the record. modified this a bit. I like coming back to the first part again too, because it's so cool. And the second part. Anyway, slow those tunes down, and don't be afraid of trying to play them. Boy, I had a lot more I wanted to talk about, but maybe next week I'll go further into some of the really hardcore advanced instrumentals. Although I'm not sure. Next week's there was the Friday just before our camp starts. Got a couple spots because I've had a couple cancellations. So if anybody wants to join us, it's not too late. Otherwise, I will. I hope to see you next week. Probably not the week after, who knows? But still working on some new lessons. I don't think we're going to do anything else from Cruel Sister, by the way, as I mentioned before. But I do have Renbourn on the way. We've been working on a few of his tunes, so keep that in mind. I will get to some. See ya.